Heyo, welcome back to the High Kicks podcast. We got a familiar voice with us, and now you get to put the face to that. Also, we got Paul back with us. Hey, Paul.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, and yeah, we still got Carl.
Well, it's good.
Yeah. I don't know where to start. Do we start Prem? Do we start Champions League? I mean, I'm happy because Liverpool won and they didn't play like crap. I'm more happy they didn't play like crap, honestly.
Yeah.
Carl, what?
Whoa.
I don't know. I thought you said. Did you say yeah?
I said, yeah.
Oh. I thought you had more to say than just yeah. Nah, more about the other game though.
Shut up.
No, I'm talking Barca PSG.
Okay.
I want to talk West Brom Man U, that amazing game.
Oh, you want to talk that one?
Let's discuss that because I want to make Carl feel really bad at the start of this podcast, so we can start on a, myself and you, Brian, we can start on a good foot, and Carl can.
Yeah,
catch up later on.
but Chelsea, so.
Chelsea have been playing really well lately.
Yeah, but I'm like the forgotten child right now, and mid-table. You guys are a chance to win the league. I'm just like, oh.
We don't have a chance to win the league right now.
We'll try for fifth.
Paul, you're above me in the table.
League.
Yeah, but currently, I mean, it's gonna wear off soon, the new manager effect, and then you're gonna start getting that goal scoring.
Well, I think it's really they just need Diogo Jota back. They need another element in the attack. I think the front three have kind of been figured out a little bit.
You need two centre backs.
Yeah. Well, that too.
You're playing Henderson as a centre back.
I mean, Fabinho is hurt now.
Fabinho was fantastic back there,
but he's hurt now.
He had that goatee everyone's scared of. You can go near him.
Yeah.
Henderson is a muppet. He's just granted, he does a job for Liverpool in centre mid. Granted, he's a good captain.
Yes.
From what I can see, but as a centre back, he's lost.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. But can we get back to Man U drawing West Brom? Oh, Paul, one funny thing. I joked with Carl about this last week, but Carl and I were playing a video game together, and he brought up the Man U Everton game from last week and was like, yo, that was a great win. And I was like, bro, you drew. I was like, 95th minute, and Carl had no idea until the next day.
Stopped watching the game. I thought we won.
All right,
you should have won.
But
Yeah.
Carl, I do have to ask. Did you have the same reaction as Harry Maguire did when Sam Johnstone,
Harry the moron Maguire,
when he made that save?
Harry Maguire seeing his header come off the post. Maybe just a fingertip from Sam Johnston.
One more time, just for Carl.
Leave me alone.
That's probably one of the saves of the season right there.
Honestly, that probably is the save of the season so far.
And that was a decent. He got off early. Maguire got a good contact on it.
Everything about that play, that was just beautiful. I loved it.
And
I loved
to be
it.
honest, with the horrific goalkeeping skills on show recently,
Yeah.
horrific. And we're starting Kepa. What moron is in charge of Chelsea starting Kepa?
Yeah.
I would start my daughter, who is 6, in place of Kepa. He is horrendous.
Paul, would you start me in place of Kepa?
Oh, that Brian. I know.
That's questionable.
I at least
that's
tried to
debatable,
move my
but-
feet.
Yeah, that's true. I don't care about goalies' feet. I care about you saving the bloody ball. Save the shots. That's all I care. I don't care how.
I
good
did
you
a
are
pretty
with
good
your
job of
feet.
that, unless it was a pen.
I mean, that only comes after you're good with your hands. I mean, that's your job. I mean, it's amazing.
Kind of, but if you have bad footwork, you can't get there with your hands. As a keeper, everything comes down to how you move with your feet, because if you can't move your feet right, you can't get there with your hands.
But moving your feet without the ball is completely different to moving the feet with the ball.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Kepa and his inability to take a step before he dives. The dude's got cement blocks.
And he just dives down like he flops, like he's just like been shot in the
Oh,
leg.
Paul, I'm not defending my footwork. I can't do that.
Oh no,
like,
no, Kepa's
on the ball. But
Right.
I'm talking moving your feet on the ground to get to the ball.
But you would think that in his
You think he'd
career
do
as
that?
a goalkeeper,
Someone would
coach
tell him.
would have taught him that. The coach said, "Hey, Kepa, before you go to play for Chelsea, how about you move your feet properly? Or before you put a price tag of $75 million on a keeper, make sure he can actually do the job as a keeper." That's a funny thing. How about you some scouting?
I don't understand that part of it.
No, because again, it's Chelsea's backroom staff are like the freaking NFL or the baseball scouts. He looks good on the mound. He's a big boy. He can run fast. He must be.
It's funny as hell that you make that joke because Liverpool are owned by Fenway Sports Group, who own the Boston Red Sox, and Manchester United are owned by the Glazer family, who own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I know, but could you imagine, the Boston group telling Klopp what to do? Klopp would bite their head off.
Yeah,
Klopp
easily.
would bite their head off.
Yeah.
And the reason why Lamps got fired...
you don't tell Roman what to do.
Lamps got fired is because the backroom staff at Chelsea were like, Frank, you got to play Kepa. He's like, no, he's shit. They're like, but we paid money for him. Well, is that my bloody fault? You're a bunch of idiots? And that's how you got the door. I can tell you, that's exactly how it went.
Yeah.
Probably at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised by that at all.
And he didn't play Rudiger because Rudiger's crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't have sacked him yet.
He wasn't winning, so I get it. He wasn't winning, but the players. The same thing with. I got pissed off the second time Mourinho got fired back in 2014 or 2015, when I literally for like half a season watched Eden Hazard do absolutely nothing, just stroll around the field and like in a huff, in like a 5-year-old temper tantrum, like his diaper wasn't changed, and I saw Fabregas do nothing. They literally tanked to get Mourinho out, and that was the same thing with the senior players at Chelsea. They just tanked and didn't want to win, and then got him out basically because they were being replaced by young kids who actually are better players.
Yeah.
We've sold better players. Frickin' De Bruyne, Salah, Lukaku. Imagine
I saw
Lukaku
something
up
today.
now for us.
What?
Can you imagine Lukaku and De Bruyne sorting into that midfield? And if we still had,
I really don't want to.
And we still had players like, still had. I mean, we've sold some decent midfielders, but I can't wait until Jorginho gets his ass kicked in a good game and finally Tuchel puts in Conte.
Yeah, he needs to just not be starting in that midfield. Kovacic makes entire sense getting a starting role in that midfield. Like, that is a great start. He is a top-class midfielder in most games, but...
Yeah. I would put him up there with the top players. I mean, you can argue Fernandes is one of the best right now for Man U. You can argue Wijnaldum is playing fantastic football right now.
Yeah.
Man City, half the team could be in that top 10.
You can literally say
it. Bernardo, Foden.
You could give it to Stones right now, just because he's playing alongside.
How much has Guardiola improved John Stones as a?
It's been unreal.
I don't.
It's
understand.
been unreal.
Really frustrating me.
Like he should give Pep like half his salary because, that's what he deserves, because that's ridiculous. I mean, there's so many good young English footballers that play in that midfield area now. Like our Euro team's gonna be stacked.
Your Euro team is unbelievable.
I saw on Instagram or ESPN, it was a questionnaire, a rank the top 5 attacking midfielders in England right now that are under 30. Grealish, Mount,
Madison,
Madison,
Foden.
I think Jordan Sancho was in that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jadon Sancho is.
and also, what's the Man City player?
Phil Foden.
Foden. Those.
Like what?
That. Who? I mean, who would you pick? I mean, each week could be a different player because they can have a great week. Yeah. And there's no way Jack Grealish is staying at Villa next year. There's no way.
I don't think he should, but
I don't know. He just signed a 5-year contract.
He signed it for $200,000 a week.
Yeah, he signed a 5-year contract before the season started. I'm pretty sure.
No, I think he was offered it. He was offered a new 5-year deal, but worth $200,000 a week. I think he was offered that. And I could see him going to someone like Arsenal or Spurs and replacing it because he's what Spurs need.
Yeah, Jack Grealish signed a new deal to remain at Villa Park until 2025.
There we go. So Villa have plans
in September.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But so I think he's valued probably I wouldn't pay him more than. I mean, I think English players are overvalued in the transfer market often anyway, but 50 mil I think would be a fair transfer for somebody of his talents.
Yeah,
but given his new contract, Villa can demand whatever the hell they want. Somebody on a fresh 5-year deal.
Like 150 million. I mean, Sergio Dest. Who just got whatever his name is. By the way, he's not American.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Research. Well, yeah, he's got the American passport. It's like saying I'm American. I'm a dual nationality. I live here, but you wouldn't say, "Oh, that guy's bona fide American."
No,
he's a cowboy from Kansas. No, Dest has a Dutch mother and a Suriname American father. And he was born in Holland, in Netherlands, and he played his youth football in Holland. He was then signed for Ajax in Holland, and then signed for Barca. He never spent 1 second on an American football pitch playing for any American team. And
Correct.
Suddenly he's like the American wonder kid. Yeah. Just by nationality. He's Dutch. The kid's Dutch. I
think it's fair to shower American praise on McKennie right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
I don't know why
Tyler Adams is balling
it. I don't know why he's not playing.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge mistake. Ziyech can be sold for all I care. He just doesn't fit the mold of the Premiership. It's too fast, too physical for him. He wants to play in France and just have 20 feet of space every time to do stuff with the ball.
I feel like it's also similar to the way that Mkhitaryan started playing when he originally went to Man U. He just was so underwhelming and just couldn't keep possession. He just was not performing at that top level. And then he went to Arsenal and actually played relatively well. So I think that could happen for Ziyech, sort of that flop. But he hasn't even played enough to be a flop at this point. He's not even healthy enough to step on the pitch. We never even know how good he could be, just because he's just I'll play one game.
He wasn't. He performed for Ajax last year, but he wasn't really challenged.
Yeah, exactly.
Not physically. You watch all these. The reason why West Brom drew against Man U is because every player.
The defenders played great.
Well, if you take my dad was saying this on the phone call. He's like, Paul, you realize that Johan Cruyff would finish a game at Barcelona and come out of the change room smoking a cigarette, have a beer in his hand and smoke a cigarette. And I was like, I didn't know that. He was a world-class player, probably one of the top 10 in the world ever. But his diet, nutrition, and fitness was nothing like it is today. Like these players are.
That's the same with like every single sport, though.
So like even you take a West Brom player, you kind of compare him skill-wise to a Fernandes, to a Rashford, to an average Man U player. Man U players are way better technically.
But you still have
in terms of tactics, size, strength, and physical, these West Brom players will run 20 miles an hour.
Yep.
All day long, every day. They're just freaks, physical freaks, and they can keep up. Like back in the day, days of Giggs and Kanchelskis, when Man U would just run through teams with Dwight Yorke and Cole. They would run past defenders. Overmars, Henry, they'd run past defenders. Now every defender is quick. Every defender is lightningly quick.
Yeah.
There's no slow players playing at the highest level
No
now.
one is slow.
Yeah, no one is slow. So that edge is gone now.
Like,
and that's why every team plays defensive.
Are like Pavard. Like Pavard is considered slow. But is he slow? Not at all.
No.
Playing right back for a top class team.
If he's slow, like some of the West Brom players are larger, right? They're 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", maybe like
slow.
Yeah, maybe like 180, 190. They're all muscle, and they know they're not very fast. So the coach is like, okay, look, you're playing against Rashford. He's lightning. All week they'll work on certain angles to close down Rashford. They can't be man to man, or if you're man to man, get touch tight. If not, you just work the angles. And you make sure there's two players. So every time Rashford gets the ball, there's two West Brom players to beat. Not just one. There's always two. And then a third covering the space. So Rashford gets the ball, it's got to beat three players. And he's not Messi in his prime. Yeah, exactly. And that's why all these teams usually just cut back and play the easy ball, the square ball. They're not attacking the space. How often do you see any players now just attack the space with a 20, 30-yard dribble?
You can't
really see it nowadays.
I mean,
he doesn't take the touches small enough. He literally takes massive touches on the ball almost every single time.
Wait, I got an example of somebody attacking the space. That was actually a perfect segue, Paul.
Okay.
Here we go.
To Neves, lovely first-time pass into the path of Neto. Right-hand side of the penalty area, back onto his left foot, now onto his right.
Okay,
Neto still dribbling. What a goal!
Literally 7.
No, but it's somebody.
Useless.
It's somebody attacking space because you.
Go back to the part where he actually turns defender. Go back. Okay. Okay. So there. Stop right there. Hold on. Okay. First, he's square. Look at his shoulders. He's square to the ball. He should have gone to the defender. The goalie should be screaming to him.
You got to move him to the left. Cut off that angle.
There's literally one more step to the left, because the Wolves winger is literally enticing him to step to his right. As soon as if you play it in slow motion, as soon as that player steps right, and then the Wolves guy's looking at his feet. He's looking. So the second he plays,
doesn't be pushed up as much.
He steps to the right. He makes that hard cut.
Area
there. Why did he step to his right? Why not just stand there and let the guy be in the box? Why do you have to stand and make that extra step and give the Wolves player that channel? I'm sorry. That is a Premiership defender doing a 5-year-old's mistake. Okay, maybe U12 mistake. But that's what we scream at the kids. Just stand there and make the attacker beat you. Why would you step and give the space to a very fast, skillful winger who's already beaten you 5 seconds before?
Yeah.
Are you that stupid? And what is the guy? I think number was it? My eyes are so back. I'm so old now. Number 3. What is he doing? He's just watching the guy get beat. Where is the cover? Why isn't the other centre back screaming to these 3 Southampton players in the box who are the wrong side of the ball? There is literally one attacker on the 6-yard box. That's it. The other guys towards us, I think Adame and the other guy on the left winger, They're not dangerous right now. They're not dangerous. And plus, and why have we got 3 Saints players marking that one attacker? And the one attacker is now beating the nearest defender and going straight for goal. Schoolboy error, that's just coaching 101 on how to defend against a fast defender. And the goalie should be screaming at him. And how is he getting beat from that angle? How is the goalie? And why isn't the goalie moving, at least towards the ball, close the angle down? He's just frozen. That's a Brian Coben special right there.
I was waiting for it.
And hope it goes to my hands. Ooh, good idea. And they're like, oh, we just lost the goal. Oh, great. There's 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2/3 of the Southampton team are in the 18-yard box, and not one of them put a bloody tackle in. I would fine all these assholes and tell them go back and play U23s or U19 reserves, because you don't belong in Premiership. That is horrific defending. That's just one.
Half of the people on the other side of the box weren't being covered at all.
Yeah, and you know, the coach goes, guys, don't worry. Next week we'll go. I would be killing these players.
Nah, I don't think they were like next week, because they are on a 6-game skid, and that was like a 90+ minute winner.
They need how to defend. General defended.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout to Neto though. I mean, he's 20.
Yeah,
he's 20.
That guy who scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, he was given the angle and he took it well. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of young players in the Prem that put up numbers who get recognition, and he puts up numbers and doesn't get much.
Yeah, but I could spend all friggin' night going through the lackadaisical, moronic defending that we see every week in the Premiership. Oh, they're great at being that beautiful, you know, park the bus, drop behind the ball, organize your back 5, back 4. When it comes to actual 1v1 defending and the art of defending, it has gone out the bloody door. They should watch Serie A from 1990 and actually watch real defenders defend, because like how many times do we send these attackers dart through, get goal side, and the defender does this lunging tackle, this lunging last-ditch tackle, and the only thing that's going to happen is he's going to touch the player and cause a penalty.
Yep.
Every single time. And I'm seeing it in slow motion. I'm like, no, I see it from like frickin' James from Chelsea, frickin' Rudiger every bloody week.
It's just gross.
He's literally dumb as a fence post. He probably can't even spell his name, poor guy. But he can run fast. But no intelligence.
He's not fast. Like, he's just sort of big and sort of fast. Zuma's like...
He's not even that big. Like, if I stood next to him, I would look so fat. He's actually very slender, very tiny. Me versus Van Dijk, I look a little child.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean,
Van Dijk would make a lot of people look like a child.
Yeah, but these guys are like 160, Kyle. They're not big guys.
But like...
They're strong, they're fast, they're insanely fit, but they're not like physically.
Yeah, they aren't like NBA players, obviously.
Oh well, they're I mean,
they're just
NBA players and some of these football players are just monsters. They're the next level of human evolution of monster. You know, they're like the old school dragons we used to slay by nights. Like now, it's just NBA players that we look up to, you know, and get dunked over. They're not normal humans. I mean, at least football players are normal humans.
Yeah.
They're just insanely fit.
I think the funniest thing is like comparisons of like Neymar next to like actual NBA players.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you see like Kobe, like with pictures of like with all these players and stuff, and LeBron James and stuff. Kobe was what 6'6"?
Yeah. Something around there.
Smaller size. I mean, LeBron is 6'8".
LeBron's like 6'8", 240.
But you know, it just amazes me. But again, I was watching the PSG game, watching Verratti play, and God, what a player! And he reminds me of Iniesta, but not as like a wizard, but more like an engine. But his turns and his touch are so tight. Verratti is.
It's so much fun to watch him play.
Kovacic.
Yeah. Like wow.
I would have Wijnaldum in that level 2.
Yeah.
I'd have Tony Kroos in that level 2. I'd have Kimmich in that level 2. Where it's player gets close and it's a quick turn, very sharp turn, and they just change the whole game. And Kovacic played well against Newcastle, but it was against Newcastle. I want to see him do it against the Man U's, the Man Cities.
Yeah.
He was showing that when he was at Real.
Yeah, Real had other players. They had Isco, they had, Kroos and Modric right at that point. So they had other players to replace him. But same as Morata. I mean, if Chelsea kept Morata, why don't we keep Costa? We kept
your entire
Costa.
club is a bunch of what ifs right now.
Yeah, imagine if we had Costa and Lukaku up front.
Imagine still had Costa, just like in general, like
yeah. You would now
you're stuck with I'm gonna do this again just out of nowhere just to see Paul's reaction. Now you're stuck with this up top.
It's Mount corner.
See,
wow.
That is all.
Look at that. And the old guys are like, "You scored. Good job." Giroud's like, "I don't care. I'm running back to the halfway line because I am Oli Giroud. I am too good looking to even go near these guys. These guys are trolls, and I am a male model." The way he runs is hilarious. But like,
I don't understand with Giroud how his hair never gets messed up.
He's a god. Giroud was like crafted by God himself. He's like the David, but he like moves. He's like marble, skin marble, the new thing. Definite man crush, definite man. But
well, it makes sense with your lack of finishing up top. So
Giroud should start every bloody game, and they should be kissing his feet because he's the one player that can actually score a goal.
Yeah, I agree with that. He needs to be on the pitch more.
And Abraham should learn from him because Abraham still has no touch. And his runs are decent, but they're not like. And Giroud's just a very intelligent player. And I hate to say this, I hate to do this, but his time at Arsenal under Wenger was what made Giroud so good. And his time with prime Fabregas, I don't think he overlapped with Bergkamp era, but definitely with Henry. There, I'm not sure if he overlapped with Henry or not. Maybe. I think Henry left in 2014, and Giroud was there, like maybe left at 2017, 2018, something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was later.
But like Arsenal have had some, just imagine the Arsenal training sessions when players like Henry were there.
Yeah.
Again, just the touch, Bergkamp's, touch and the detail of the technique. And then Giroud just learned from that, and he had to because Giroud has no pace. So Wenger's like, mate, you got no pace. You cannot just run past players like Henry did and Elka did, even and those players. You need to
Giroud's a target man.
Yeah, classic target man. But he also, I'd say like Andy Carroll is a classic target man. Or Crouch or something like that, or Teddy Sheringham.
Giroud just has that finishing with that left foot. That left foot is just beauty.
He's cultured. He's cultured.
Yeah.
He similar to like Cavani. Like Cavani has like that right foot. He's not like, I'd say Cavani like in his prime has better finishing than Giroud, but Giroud as of now has better finishing.
Yeah, I think Cavani was a fantastic player, and I think now he's just.
He's serving his role pretty well over there.
Look at a selection of big men. You got. Lukaku, if he was now he's in Italy, he's going to get better with his feet, obviously.
Yeah.
But Lukaku has that potential of BA Giroud in the future, but he also has pace right now, Lukaku, and his size. But look at someone like Benzema. Look at Benzema.
Hold people off differently than Giroud, though, just because he is actually a grown man. Like he is just like one of those massive players. Like he.
But even I think with Like, you put Giroud next to Brian. I think Brian would be a similar size to Giroud. I just think that they're so cut and so fit. They look very big. They look there's no fat on them. So they look like they're massive men, but really.
Yeah, no, Paul.
Yeah.
Giroud's large.
So how tall is he?
6'4".
6'4". How what was he weighing?
Giroud's weight
185, 190.
201.
Okay, he's probably one of the biggest.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
But he's got no fat on him, so like he looks bigger, and the shirts are tight, so they do kind of help out his physique and stuff. But he's one of the biggest. Lukaku's one of the biggest. Van Dijk, but the rest, I mean, Abraham's probably 6'4", 6'5", but pushed in 165.
Yeah.
There's no like weight to him, but that's what you want. You don't want these huge people all the time, because it's not what they look for. I mean.
Yeah, but he could build like a little bit and actually start getting more physical. He could be a lot better if you did that. But
yeah, but I miss the days. Remember for Spurs? Well, I used to love Essien. I mean, Essien was. Essien was like the ultimate box-to-box tackling midfielder for me in his prime. Ray Parlour for Arsenal, Vieira for Arsenal,
Mugalele.
Even something like Nicky Butt, like would be box-to-box and win the ball. Darren Fletcher, those kind of players. Liverpool, I mean, Steven Gerrard, great tackler. Scholes, horrific tackler.
Or who is it?
Paul, I'm really, really, really happy that you didn't just bring up the slip, and I'm mad that I did, but you complimented Gerrard, so thank you.
Yeah, because how can you not? You mentioned box-to-box midfielders, and you can mention Lampard in that level too.
Yeah,
I think Lampard wasn't really a tackling midfielder. He was more of creative.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Lampard is the only midfielder anywhere near the top of the Prem scoring list.
Yeah, but I think that's because he was given that freedom. I think Gerrard was very happy to sit back and orchestrate. Same as a Patrick Vieira, where they'd score a few goals. They were important, but they weren't there to score goals.
Correct.
And Lampard was there to score goals.
Mm-hmm.
Same with like Pirlo. Like Pirlo was there to like be just a magician, not to score.
Yeah, it's the same as Kroos, and Iniesta. They weren't there to score goals. When they did score goals, it was special.
It was, majestic at that. Like when
it was more than special.
Whenever they get that touch on the ball, you just get excited.
Yeah, but those days of anyone tackling properly, it's gone. Like you saw with the Saints video you just showed.
Mm-hmm.
Like that 15 years ago, the guy would have been touch tight. The guy would have put his foot in, touched the ball away, hit the guy in the same time, and it'd been a corner. Now it's a video replay. Oh, he touched the guy with his left shoelace.
So
it grazed his left eyebrow.
Speaking of video replay,
threw off penalty.
Well, it's just a stupid video replay. Like,
so Wayne Rooney came out and said that
18 video replays.
But Wayne Rooney came out and said that he thinks it's killing the game. He thinks it's ruining the feeling and it's ruining the emotion, and I think it's most damaging. It ruins the flow.
Well, they want more goals. They want more goals because that's what the average person, the neutral, wants to see. A score of 8-4 or 6-3 or 5-5 because that's the average.
People want to see the 9-0s. Like people want to see those, and I don't understand why. I'd rather see a good game.
If Man U scored 9 legit great goals and actually played something which they did, then fine. But it's the bullshit soft stuff. Like I watched the Barca penalty was never a penalty.
It was not a penalty.
That would have been laughed away 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, laughed away.
That might have gotten laughed away last year.
De Jong tripped himself.
Yep.
He tripped himself.
Yeah.
And fell in the box and everything. And it really has. It started in Italy and Spain, and I got in real trouble once because I was coaching a game, and there was these players that were mostly from Portugal. They were speaking Portuguese, and they kept diving. I said, "Come on, stop being Portuguese," and they went nuts. They didn't even realize what they do. People from Spain, Portugal, Italy, they just dive. They embellish everything, and it ruins the game. It ruins the game. And every little touch, they fall down, they cry, they hold their face. Even now, you notice how these taller players would lean into the tackle, and the person who's playing against them would naturally put their arm up, balance, and to keep the player away from you. That's what you're taught. Get your arm up to make yourself bigger.
And then they just go.
When they do that, they raise the person's face and they go out like this shot.
And it's just.
Like this had like a Nicolas Cage face-off, fight. Or then a John Wick movie. Like, no, you haven't died. You got a graze to the face, and then they jump up and they're fine. And the poor guy's got yellow card. And then the guy's not even looking at the ball. The ball's over there to his left, and he's there. Hand comes up normally, and the guy's face is there. It's too much. It's too much. It's like watching football in America, where every 2 seconds there's a flag for something.
Yep.
Something. They find it's like cops. They just find a reason to pull you over.
I have stopped watching.
Your car has 4 tires. That's it.
I have stopped watching American football for the main reason, really, of in a 3-hour TV time of the game, you get like 16 minutes of actual play.
Yeah, no, it's actually disgusting.
You get like 16 minutes of game time. I'd much rather.
Not even good commercials anymore. Not even good commercials.
The commercials are all
car insurance commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was used to like the old like good Doritos commercials.
I miss the Doritos commercials.
Not even those.
Or the Budweiser commercials.
Yep.
I mean the commercial was like, where are those? Oh, they're not PC anymore. We can't say those.
Yeah,
It offends people. It offends people that go, what's that? It offends them. It just offends them. It's crazy. But, so, West Brom beating Man U. Oh, no, draw Man U, sorry.
Oh, we're going back to that?
Of course we are. We're going back to all the time.
All right, wait. Let me mention another game just so that I don't keep on getting beat up on. Everton lost to Fulham.
Wow, that's not the game I thought you were going to talk about.
Why is that surprising this season? Because every team has been beating other teams that we wouldn't have thought of at the start of the season.
Yeah, I want to Paul. I want to know your thoughts on this. Carl and I have noticed that Everton, they started their season in incredible form, and everything fell apart when Luca Digne got hurt.
Okay.
And we both think everyone gives all the credit to like their new midfield and their guys up top. He's like the heart of that team. He runs that left flank similar to a way that Andy Robertson does at Liverpool. He's creative. He has stamina. He never stops. He's good at defending.
But think about what you just said. They've developed their attacking repertoire. They brought in a more cultured midfield. They brought in a coach who has done it at the highest level.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that has enabled, teams that play Everton now have to worry about other things, not just one player. They worry about 4 or 5 players or style play. So that they're going to concentrate their defensive strategies, these opposing teams, on the middle of the field. Stopping the 2 strikers.
Understandable.
And the midfield. So that would leave
more space for Digne.
More space for the wings.
Yes.
So then, yes, the left back has taken his chances and played very well and attacked the space and been more aggressive in the final third. But that's also because he hasn't got a man up his ass 24/7 because the man is in 20 yards inside, covering the space in the middle because they worry about the center midfield areas. But every team is like that,
I mean,
most the space is on the wings.
My thing with Digne is though,
he's so bloody tight now.
He's then feeding the ball in that's beating the coverage on the guy in the middle for the goal. Like, he's also playing the ball in that's creating the chances. And
He had a lot of very good assists up to that point, like when he actually got hurt, which was surprising.
But a lot of teams now, like a lot of teams aren't pressurizing the wingers. They're not closing down the space. They're not really blocking crosses. They're allowing crosses to come in because they know they have 6, 7, 8 defenders behind the ball in the 18-yard box. I mean, to defend the 6-yard box the way that teams do nowadays, to me is just ludicrous. And again, when I was playing, you would never defend the furthest back you'd ever go is 18. And then the ball goes in 18, it's the goalies. It is the goalies. And if the goalie's not coming out, then there's something wrong. But you would never drop back to the 6 because then you've got, any shot goes in at that range.
Yeah.
It's a deflection, a ricochet, a ball.
I hate deflections.
I
hate them.
If I'm shooting from 25 yards, it's got to be some amazing shot to go in against a professional goalkeeper.
Yes.
Who's positioned correctly and is above the height of 5'5".
So not
Yeah,
Kepa?
pretty
I mean,
much.
5'5", but positioned properly. So not Kepa?
I'm just playing. But any normal sized goalie is going to
Yeah.
have a good time to readjust his position and make a save or put a hand to it.
Mhm.
When you shoot from 7 yards out, the goal is wide open. I'm sorry, it's wide open.
Yep.
It always is.
Always.
Even that goal from Samson.
Another goalie who looked like they could get scored on by anyone?
Kepa.
Allison.
Allison was just giving the ball away. He didn't even give himself a chance to make the save.
Allison felt bad.
they got pooped on.
That is it. That I was telling Brian before we came on. That is a coaching directive. That is Klopp saying you will play this way because you do that a mistake once as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, you don't do that.
You look over to the bench and Klopp is giving you the death stare.
Yeah.
The players are giving you death stare. Henderson is cursing your brain out right now. And then you do it again. That is definitely a coaching directive. The coach has told the goalkeeper, you will do this when the ball comes to your feet. You will not just kick it out for a throw-in or kick it out randomly. You will play it to our players who are in space. And of course, once the other team knows that,
It's over. They're going to exploit that.
yeah, it's the Barca system from 10, 12, 13 years ago where it was brand new that the goalie plays with the ball.
Yeah.
Really, it was the Ajax and Dutch way with Van der Sar, but
Yeah.
it was brand new, so teams didn't know how to high press the way they do now.
Yeah.
They weren't taught that, and slowly but surely over the course of the next decade, Klopp, Mourinho with his high press, and with Guardiola and those other coaches, they've now. But also, what's the harm in a centre back playing a long ball? And that's why Liverpool was so effective. Liverpool could score any way they want because they had those players like
Yep.
Mane.
My favorite thing was watching
just get
Van
a long
Dijk
ball.
ping a ball like a midfielder.
Yeah, it's like what was it? What team did I watched score a long ball? Oh, it was Man City. It was Mkhitaryan, where Edison had that long ball. See that game?
Oh, you mean Gundogan?
Oh, Gundogan, yeah. Gundogan. Played the ball, and Gundogan they basically just shoved them off the ball.
Yep.
If you got that clip, I could tell you the 5 million things the defender got wrong.
All right, give me a sec, because this is going to be fun.
That is such a simple thing to do. And it wasn't like it wasn't like the Messi goal against Boateng, where Messi was going at full speed with the ball. Everyone didn't have the possession yet, really.
Yeah.
And it was just, again, I really think it's the goalie's fault. I'm sorry. The goalie is watching this whole thing take place in front of him, and he's not saying anything to the defender. I really,
I got it.
I mean, it's a fantastic ball by Edison, but really.
I mean, the ball was fantastic, but so
but
I'm going to
teams-
play it, and then
Teams
I'll go
aren't
back
used
and
to
give you a
this.
chance to cut it. All right?
Yeah, teams aren't used to this kind of style of play.
Lightweight
Look
though
how
it
high
sounds,
the,
he actually
um,
demonstrated a
Spurs
really outstanding
forwards
attitude
are.
and won a lot of plaudits.
Oh,
Gundogan.
Oh,
He sat
God.
down Sanchez and he scored again.
Why isn't Lloris screaming in French to this kid? Look, you got 3 Spurs players, high press. Okay, fine. It's man on man in the final third. Okay, so that's what Mourinho wants. Okay, let's play it so, and pause it halfway, like midway, halfway line. Okay, pause it there. Okay, look at the space. Look at the space in midfield. You could park a bus in that center circle and only hit 2 Spurs players.
That is the
Like, why aren't those 2 Spurs players on the far side running towards the ball? Why are they still really? They're too far wide, basically. And there's no holding midfielder right now. I know where Holberg is, but he's not where he should be. And keep playing, Brian. And pause. He's not a fast player. He's intelligent. He's creative. He's sharp on the ball, but he's not a fast player.
No,
This is
he
not
is
like-
not.
This is not like, Mbappe.
This isn't
running.
Sterling beating them down the wing.
Yeah, it's
This
not.
is
I mean,
literally Gundogan.
you've got the Man City players know what's coming because look, you've got these 3 Man City players already moving forward on Edison's long balls. This is worked on in training. Like, this is not just random. Like, this is done as
Yeah.
a tactic.
This
You
is
know, you play it short a couple of times, and then you play it long just to mix it up. That's what Pep does great. He mixes it up a lot,
Yep.
whereas other coaches don't. I.e., Frank Lampard, Mourinho, they don't mix it up. Why? Sanchez, the covering defender right here, closest to the ball, he's not a slow player. He's
No,
a
he is
very
not.
quick, very agile, very young defender. He's a good defender. But why isn't Lloris screaming to him that there's a play on his right shoulder? Why isn't Lloris scream? Why isn't Lloris even like further out his goal? Right at that point, he could be further out. But
I mean, he's pretty damn far out.
he's fine. He's fine. But now he's like, oh shit, I gotta get back. This
Yeah.
defender.
The second
Really?
you can see Hugo Lloris leaning back right here, it's over.
Yeah.
Once you're on your back foot
I
as a
don't-
keeper, it's over.
He's one of these keepers I think says nothing. If that was Peter Schmeichel from the 90s, or that was Peter Cech, or that was David Seaman from Arsenal, those were real. I'm sorry to say, real men. Lloris looks like a pansy. I'm sorry, he looks like a pansy. I mean, he's a good goalkeeper and all. But he's a pansy. Like he probably collects coins on the weekends, you know. Schmeichel, Seaman, and Cech, they're men. They're going to scream and shout at you and organize. And this guy here, okay, Sanchez is caught behind the ball. Fine. Okay. Ball's bouncing. He can't get to it first. That's a fan. That touch right there. Go back. That touch by Gundogan was beautiful. Look at that touch. Look at
I'm
that.
gonna give that one more look.
And not one commentator mentioned it. That touch gave him the space. It slowed him down. It enabled him to touch the ball left onto his left foot.
Can I
and
just
then
say
opened his
something?
body up. And at the same time, it made the guy fall over.
Why is
It
it
was the most amazing touch. And look
that
how close that ball is. Look how close the ball is to his foot.
You just took it around. And
why do so many goalkeepers now go with their freaking feet?
Because the strikers are taught to play the ball close to their feet. They're taught to shoot the ball right next to their feet because they know if the goalie goes down with his hands, ball's past him by the time he can react. That's why the feet are faster. You see, as soon as he realized the ball's on the floor, Lloris, he leans back, leans back straight there. He's up right
but
now.
he's
As
got
soon as
he's
as
got
soon
the
as
time right now to drop.
No, but he doesn't know where it's going yet. It's still not left his foot. So as soon as he leaves his foot, he knows it's a low shot to see there. He's now starting to lean back.
I see that.
But if he
And
doesn't
pray.
lean back, he can go forward and get there. You don't need to get.
Look how close that ball is to his foot, Brian.
Oh, I know.
How
I
close
know.
it is.
But just because it's closest to your foot doesn't mean it's the best option.
look at Sanchez right now.
Sanchez is literally looking like he's about to get kicked.
All right.
I'm sorry, but look how that touch by.
I'm
Gumula
going to take
was
this
so
off
Shattered his ankles.
No, but
after
it was
this.
so good
but
that he had no way to change direction. There was no way.
That was literally like the Boateng fall.
But Messi just did a simple cut. This was
That was pretty
bouncing.
by the.
This is
All
a
right,
bouncing ball.
everybody.
Huh? This is a bouncing ball where he's brought it back down so close to his feet that he could turn left, and he could have had a cup of tea there. He could have called his parents.
He could have
in
done
his
whatever he
homeland
wanted.
and still would have scored.
But he took it back around. It was literally just such a simple move with what he did.
I saw a video and
But
someone
the
was like,
move-
"Who unplugged
move-
Davinson Sanchez?"
The
Like,
move was created by his first touch. Being
That first
so
touch was
freaking good,
Yeah.
and no one
exquisite.
mentioned that at all in commentators. No one mentioned that. Everyone said the run. The run was a simple run through the gap, through the channel. That was a simple run through the channel, which should have been easily dealt with by the defender. But the fact that he brought it down so effortlessly and so silky, I mean, that's what the Man City players are. They're just all silk.
I could understand
play
that
it
run.
silk.
That's why I'm scared. I think they're gonna just run away with first.
Like,
So-
I think that run could have caught somebody off guard a couple weeks ago before Ilkay Gundogan started doing this. But
Again, that comes down to Luis, Brian. Luis is watching that long ball from start to finish. That ball was traveled 50, 60 yards.
he had so
in
much
the air.
time to tell them what was going to happen.
Why isn't
much.
he shouting? Why isn't he shouting to this fast defender?
So I'm just going to say something from personal experience, and this is from playing for your team. Sometimes you shout and your defenders just don't fucking listen.
Well, I agree. I mean, also, but that's
It's not always the keeper not shouting. Like,
true.
almost every single game I played for you, I shouted at, most notably, Chris Denyer at left back consistently, and no one listened to me. So, like, I'm not saying you're not wrong, but he just might not have listened also.
Yeah, true. And that will be discussed in the change room after the game, and also in the replays the days after, and there'll be some heads rolling in the change room. And I'm pretty sure Sanchez will not be starting next game
That's
because of that.
I mean, I'm not going to say let's hope not, because
He's class. I really like him.
I do too, but I think Spurs have got a lot of good defenders.
Yeah.
I've always liked the Spurs defenders.
and Mourinho is the type of manager I feel like that if you end up like this,
Yeah, you don't start for a game or two.
Yeah. Well, again, if you go back in on the video,
you're going to have to give me a
Spurs-
second on that one.
like Edison smart. He saw the players spread out. He saw that the Spurs players were pressuring his defenders. He saw that Spurs were spread out, trying to go man to man as best they could on Man City. And then what you do, you isolate Sanchez with a deep
One of the
line
best
midfielder
on
run.
balls. Like, he's just so clinical on balls. Like, he can just send it anywhere on the pitch at any point in time. Ederson can just do that.
Like, I could spend hours just dissecting the
We are back.
The triangle play. Go back.
How far back you
there.
want?
Look at how wide that back four is.
Yeah.
Look, there's got to be 15, 20 yards between the two centre backs. That's way too much. And then why isn't this left back screaming at Sanchez, guy on your left, guy on your left, guy on your left, guy on your left, running through the channel. All these players, even the centre mid, could scream to him, and he could easily just ignore the ball and run back and play goal side. But he's watching the ball again. He's trying to get that ball because, he wants to maintain possession. But
And
again,
they've all made the biggest mistake that you're taught at like U4 in football. Never let the attacker get goal side on your back on a ball in the air, ever.
Usually there would be some sort of stepping up as a unit and it catch them offside. But this was such a a shock to the Spurs system at this point in the game that they weren't even trying to play offside because they were too spread over shit to even organize that. They basically left 1v1. And I think that's just the ingenious of Man City right there because, I mean, I could spend 3 weeks discussing how amazing Man City are now at basically cutting through teams.
So speaking of Man City cutting through teams, because we're nearing the hour mark, and I want to jump ahead to next week's games. What do you think they're gonna do to Everton? Because Carl and I kind of said last week we don't really think there's a team in Europe that City can't beat 5-0.
I think right now if Bayern played Man City, it will be a very good game. 1-0, 1-1. It will be very tight, very, very chess tactical.
Or I could see it being the complete opposite and being it like 4-0, 4-0.
Could be.
Like a complete blowout and a complete blowout based on just like strategies.
Yeah. I think. I mean,
if Bayern get Lamptey from Brighton,
oh my God! If they get Tariq Lamptey, that is just not okay.
yeah,
Give me 1 second.
let's see what he does. And if they can do the same with him as they did with David, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Again, another Chelsea product. It's okay. We just have our best players.
But yeah,
I mean, I think. Again, if it all comes down to if Man City have the upper hand early in the game and they can control the game, they can control anyone. I think if they go down 1-2 goals, like against a Bayern or a Juve, that have more experience and more older players.
yeah, I can. definitely see that happening.
Could Man City get back in the game? Yes, maybe, but
not without KDB. Like if KDB is like sort of out of form or anything, like if KDB is not playing great, if they don't really have Aguero up there, they sort of need these players to actually be back in form, despite Aguero definitely leaving.
yeah, I think Jesus looks great right now. I think a new kid, Theron, looks very, very promising.
Yeah.
And Man City are going to go. And I got a sneaky feeling that Man City are going to buy Haaland in the summer.
I don't want that.
Oh, you see that?
Yeah.
I think that Pep knows that Aguero is going to be retiring soon or moving back to Argentina to play this boyhood club and finish his days off, maybe in Argentina or the MLS like that, and go back to the Americas. And I think
I was hoping for the whole Bayern thing.
Well, I think either Bayern or Man City, because Barca can't afford shit right now.
Yep.
Real Madrid can't afford anything. They still have Benzema, who's a fantastic striker.
Mm-hmm.
Man City need that talisman up front, and Haaland is that perfect talisman. I don't think the thing is, why did Villa commit £200,000 a week to Grealish and buy the deal? They know that no team can afford Grealish, not even Man U. No team has, like Simon Peach was saying, no team has that kind of money anymore to splash around.
Yeah.
Chelsea had it. Chelsea had it because they sold Hazard and other players and used that money. They didn't have an extra 200 million. They
sold a lot of players, and
commentators seem to think that they just magically made 200 million out of nothing and bought these players. No, they sold players first, and these teams, it is becoming like an NFL team where there's a cap. We just go on the days where these transfers happen. I mean, so I think a lot of these teams will stay very, very stable. 1 or 2 players might move, but it'll be more like trades.
Yeah.
But it comes down to, in the future, comes down to then the academies. Can these teams make these young
grow talent from within and create players on their own?
Or the Chelsea system of having every player under the sun under contract and then
letting them go.
That's
well, I mean,
exactly what,
I would love to see Chelsea continue with that because, I like Mo. He's doing a good job for us.
Well, Mo wasn't an academy player, and honestly,
No, I just mean
Mo,
letting players go for Chelsea.
Yeah, you guys.
yeah, when Mo went to Chelsea, he wasn't the same player. He
wasn't ready yet. I don't
Really
think it's a Chelsea necessarily not being able to evaluate talent. Like, I just think some players matured after they left, which is normal.
Well, also
them getting rid of Tamori made no sense, but
yeah, and Terry said it in a interview. I think John Terry was in like an hour-long interview in like Bahrain or some vacation spot with his family. He did an interview at this radio station, and he was saying that when Kevin De Bruyne and Salah were in the Chelsea squad, same as Lukaku, Mourinho had such a group of older, experienced, world-class players, that it was very hard for a youth team player or a younger player in his early 20s or in his teens to really get into the Mourinho squad, because Mourinho wanted those older heads. He wanted players that were like young, but not that young, but also like would do what he wanted. And Salah didn't do that. De Bruyne, I watched De Bruyne play a couple of games with Chelsea, and yeah, there was class there, but he wasn't standout. He wasn't like the best player on the field. He was just an average Chelsea young kid trying to make his way. Lukaku, I really wanted to keep Lukaku. That was the one guy I wanted to keep, because that was like the next Drogba for me.
So speaking of Chelsea, Paul, what do you think for them next Saturday against Southampton?
Southampton?
Yeah, I mean that's their next match.
I think 2-0.
You think 2-0? I'm just trying to.
I think it'll be a very calculated. I think it'll be a close first half, 0-0, maybe 1-0 for us at halftime. Depends on the situation. Depends who we play. Saints will have a few chances, corner kicks, free kicks.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe some open play.
They are dangerous with a free kick.
Yeah, and then we'll, like Newcastle, we'll just have all the ball, and then we'll just grind out a 2-0 victory. And
yeah,
I think Giroud will start. He'll score a header. He'll score a header like straight out the half time.
He'll score a header and his hair won't move.
No,
never.
The ball when the ball hits his hair, the ball says thank you. That's how nice it is.
Oh yeah, of course.
The ball asks for a picture with him. That's what the ball says.
Yeah.
I
mean, the ball just wants to take that little screenshot of the header home with it.
Have you noticed how the other defenders, when they knock over Giroud, they go and like massage him?
Yeah.
Not pick him up. Just, oh, you okay? Ollie, you okay? Ollie, are you fine? Ollie, you want a date? Ollie, you okay? Like that.
And then I'm hoping Liverpool don't go back to Premier League style Liverpool of late against Everton, because
versus Everton.
Oh, Merseyside derby.
Because we got a derby, and I don't.
Taking Everton.
Yeah, it's derby with the derby spelled DER.
I'm going late draw Everton because they did the same thing.
I'm thinking 0-0. I think Liverpool don't want to lose the game. Everton need to get a point to get there, and of course, I think it could be 7-8 yellow cards, and then probably a red card for Everton at the end of the game.
I might have to wake up at 7 a.m. on Sunday.
Have fun with that, because at 2 on Sunday I can watch Man U Newcastle.
But I might be watching football all day on Sunday. We have West Ham, Spurs, Villa, Leicester, and then Arsenal City.
Villa Leicester is going to be so good.
Hang on, say the first game again. So I think it'll be 0-0.
West Ham, Spurs.
Everton, Liverpool. Huh?
Okay, then West Ham, Spurs on Sunday. I skipped over Fulham and Sheffield on Saturday.
Fulham, Sheffield, that is a 2-1 Fulham win.
Okay,
Yeah,
and Burnley and West Brom are playing Saturday as well.
Taking West Brom.
Burnley, West Brom. Burnley win that 2-0.
I'm taking West Brom 1-0.
Okay.
So I haven't done any I skipped Friday. We have Leeds and Wolves on Friday.
Ooh, that's a game. That's 3-3.
That's going to be so exciting.
3-3. And I think Chelsea 2-0 Saints.
You said Chelsea 2-0 Saints. You
Man U, as I hate to say this, Man U are going to smash Newcastle. and like 4-0.
All right,
I'll
so
take no.
West Ham Spurs.
West Ham Spurs.
I might have to wake up for that.
I'm going West Ham 1-0.
I might go West Ham 2-0.
Ooh.
I'm
I
going
think
West
Mourinho's
Ham
getting
3-2.
fired in the year. I think he's going to get fired.
I could
West
see
Ham
it.
2.
I think Arteta will keep his job because
I-
his head is also gorgeous.
I
think-
think Leicester beats Villa.
I think Mourinho gets fired and goes back to Portugal or Spain.
Could.
Mourinho could go and
I can see
coach
Spain. I
Barca.
don't see Portugal.
I couldn't see him going to Barca.
No.
All right.
Leicester's beating Villa without a doubt.
Leicester beating Villa.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
actually.
think-
James
I
Justin
think
tearing his
for
ACL is huge.
I think 1-1. I think it'll be a close. I think it'll be a very open game, a very tight game in terms of the score and chances.
3-1 Leicester.
And I would love to see him tie a draw because Chelsea's going to win and then close the gap even further. And then next is Man U, going to beat you guys. So it's fun.
Arsenal, Man City.
Yeah, sure. Chelsea's gonna beat Man U.
I think 3
Man City.
3-1.
4-1.
3-1 City.
I might go 4-0. I don't see Arsenal scoring on City.
I see them like scoring like a free kick or a corner.
See Odegaard scoring a crazy weird goal. For
Yeah. And I think like Man City have 86% possession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Pep wants to make a statement. And what better against his buddy?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
there'll be goals there.
I think that can wrap us up for this
Chelsea.
week.
I think
Our Paul's not done?
I think we lose to Atletico.
Oh, I do
both
too.
legs.
I do too. I do too. I think that's a
I think
good
both
thing
legs.
to note.
I think we're out first round, and that will make Tuchel have a really hard look at our squad.
Well, obviously.
And really make some decisions in the summer.
I'm
Because
easily seeing Dortmund beat Sevilla. I'm seeing Juve beat Porto. And then coming up, Lazio versus Bayern. Of course, I'm going to have to take Bayern. Bayern's probably going to smoke the poop out of them.
Lazio decent, but yeah, Bayern's gonna be like 7-0 over 2 legs. I think it could be a shock. I think Porto's beating Juve over 2 legs.
I could see Atalanta taking out Real.
Yes, I could do that. I could see that as well, and I could also see Sevilla beating Dortmund over 2
I
legs.
could see Sevilla beating Dortmund over 2 legs also.
So there could be a few upsets in this round, and then once the big boys are out, once Real, Dortmund, Juve are out, then it's Bayern's to lose really, and Bayern and Man City. Liverpool might lose to Leipzig 3-0.
It's a possibility.
They could.
I could also see Man City actually losing.
Pep just has a history of overthinking the Champions League with City.
Yeah, he'll do something like crazy formation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll try like a 3-2-5 and then just like try like the most bizarre thing possible and then just absolutely get out possessed and lose a game that they should have won like 8-0. But
He'll walk in a changing room at the start of the game. We'll go to Aguero. Aguero, you fit? He's like, yeah, coach. You're playing left back today, Aguero. Let's go. Well, Zinchenko, coach. Oh, he's playing striker. It's okay.
Nah, you can't forget though. Kyle Walker starting in goal.
You know what? He's so fast. He'd also play striker.
Oh, that team is just like limitless in what they can do.
Look, Kyle Walker is definitely the worst footballer, like in terms of Man City players, as like technique and composure and talent. And there's Kyle Walker, like down under the ground.
But he's so freaking fast.
Yeah, but he has a touch of a donkey, but He's so fast. No
But
one
he
sees
uses that touch of a donkey to hit it away from the other players to his own team.
I think Man City players are going to show that Gundogan touch to score the goal and say, look, Kyle just scored a first touch. And
We
you
need
put
to
it down,
mention
it stays near your feet. It's amazing how that works. And you're paid loads of money for your feet. You don't need to use this pace. And he's like, but why? I'm so fast.
We need to mention Mbappe hat-trick.
But I watched the game. And
we didn't even talk about that.
Mbappe is just the GOAT.
He took his chances. Nothing special. He scored 3 goals. The third goal was.
Paul, he's 20.
No, I don't.
Or he's 21.
I don't
Or 22.
see it. I don't see it. I think he's a good player. I think he's up there with some of the best. I don't think he's got to do it on the big stage. And
what's bigger than being 22 years old scoring a hat trick at Camp Nou?
He's just gonna keep on doing it. I think he's gonna smoke Barca again. I think he's gonna then go on and probably contest with whatever team by himself, like fully.
He's great, but he's very clinical. He scored 3 goals, fine, but they weren't anything special in my book.
Okay.
I think the media and all these, online stuff, they want to push these young superstars. Jadon Sancho, what has he really done?
So my thing with Mbappe, though, is he's done enough to deserve all the attention.
He has.
He played his freaking ass off in a World Cup at 18. He has performed in the Champions League every single time he's played in it.
But like when I watched Henry play at 21, Henry was better. Even Trezeguet was better. Patrick Kluivert was better at 21. Ronaldo was better at 21.
Yeah, but Ronaldo was.
Ronaldo might have been better in the world.
If you're talking about that kind of level of player, historically, Shevchenko was better at 21. Like, it's as a striker, yes, but he needs to be more. He needs to do this over a longer period of time. And when he's 28, 29, with like 10 years of history behind him, then we can discuss that. But right now, Barca are not the same team as they were. I mean, he had acres of space for that third goal. He had time to place that where he wanted. It wasn't like he had a player up his ass. And he had to
That's the main thing. Barca's just not Barca anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know how Real's going to be because they're probably getting rid of Ramos. I would love to see Man U sign Ramos. I think everyone else would hate that, but Man U signing Ramos would be beautiful.
It could be like a Van Dijk thing.
Yeah.
Older player. I mean, where's Alba going?
Alaba, he's got a verbal agreement with Real. Contract's not signed yet, but he's had a verbal agreement in place since the beginning of January.
Yeah, he's definitely going to Real.
Yeah.
I think. Who's Bayern going to get to replace him? Because
they already signed Upamecano.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, so they're chilling.
Yeah, that's good.
I think we've covered. Yeah. Paul, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you so much.
We're definitely going to have you back because you're fun. You know your shit. I
like this. I like the videos where we can discuss the games and show how moronic these players are sometimes. This is fantastic.
I'm not saying my legs work any better than them, but I'll still judge them.
Oh, same. I mean, that's what.
We are here to judge. We are here to judge, and we'll do that. And then when we're in the field, they can judge us, which will be easy because we're horrific.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, thanks for tuning in and come back next week.
No worries, guys. Thanks a lot.